Throughout social media, there are a lot of comments from both autistics and professionals arguing their perspectives of ABA. Many autistic adults express their concerns about the risks of ABA when the autistic child's sensory and emotional needs aren't taken into consideration. Many professionals quickly jump to defend ABA, stating that ABA has changed over the years. While this is true in many cases, we still have a long way to go as a field. Think about times when you have been knocked off balance. Maybe you started a new job without a lot of training and support, and your boss expected that you would develop your own coping strategies. In many cases, this is similar to what we have traditionally expected in ABA when we overwhelm autistic children and reinforce calm, cooperative behavior. Your ability to learn and process new information goes down as your feeling of overwhelm goes up. Eventually, if you're exposed to enough stress and pressure, you shut down and are no longer able to function. This is what happens to autistic children when they are put in stressful situations, only their threshold for shutting down is much, much lower than yours. Listen to Daniel, an autistic adult, as he talks about his recommendations for how to help an autistic child learn to cope with situations that might be overwhelming.
What I would do if I bring up an autistic child, I would actually make it more predictable by explaining to my child first what they might see at the shopping centre. I would choose a time when it would be less populated rather than when it's most populated, thinking of what is actually suitable for my child's needs. Such if my child struggles with changes, for example, I might rather than choosing to go to a big shopping store, I would choose to go to a smaller store where things are kept more consistent and actually suit my child's needs and let things develop, rather than actually trying to shove them, taking a big leap straight to there. So just when it comes to their sensitivity to what's around them, where some can go into physical pain, what happens there is that their senses, just like everyone else's, gradually develop. But going from being inside a home, which is actually designed to be comfortable, to somewhere as bright as a shopping store, that's quite a big leap. I'd just like to read something from a father who's got an autistic child, of what he said concerning what a therapist did for his son. And I see this work, it was very successful. Just they did it in such a way that they created an environment in that room that was free from the onslaught of sensory stimulation that would have been coming at him normally in daily life, which we wouldn't necessarily mark as anything special, but which he processed differently. When he was no longer being knocked off balance by those things, the therapist was then free to work on evoking his inner sense of trust and his inner sense of wanting to form some sort of relationship with another person and derive some sort of satisfaction from that relationship. That was really key in bringing him and out of himself. And when that was done, they could work on expanding his tolerance of the various stressors. So you can see what we had to do there to the child was stop having things around him, knocking him off balance. And this is what autistic adults are trying to tell people in these comment sections of videos about ABA, is that the more you got distressing the child, knocking them off balance, and you're just preventing them from being able to learn because they're too distracted from what's around them.
Reducing overwhelm, building trust, and teaching coping skills while gradually exposing them to challenging situations can all be part of an effective ABA intervention. We have the skills to utilize these strategies if we take the time to thoroughly think through our plans from the child's perspective. When we all work together, we find the most effective way to help autistics develop the independence they deserve.